Okay, this video is teaching us how to convert exponents to logs and logs to exponent functions so today we're not actually solving anything. We're practicing converting them back and forth so that we have the ability to solve them later. Okay, so let's understand for a second why we have these log equations. So here are two equations that look very similar but are different. On this first one, to solve for x, we're going to divide both sides by 2, so we get x is 4. We knew that we divided by 2 because the opposite of multiplying, or the inverse of multiplication, is dividing, so we divided both sides by 2. And notice the 2 is multiplied by the x, but over here the 2 is the base and the x is the exponent. So this one's a little bit different. And you might think, okay, well, I know, I'm just going to take the square root. But when we did the square root, that's when the number was in the exponent and then the base was the variable. And that's not what we have here. We have to do something different. Well, we don't really have a method to do that just yet. So our only option is to guess and check. Well, 2 to the first is 2. That's not right. So I can do 2 squared. That's 4. That's not right. So I can do 2 to the third, which is 8. That's right. So x has to be 3. Okay? So unless we can guess and check it, we don't have another option until now. And what we can do now is rewrite this as a log. And what we're going to do is we're going to say log, and this right here, and our exponent is our base, so it's going to go here, so we say base 2, and then the x and the 8 switch places. So I'm going to say log base 2 of 8 equals x. So again, how you say that is log base 2 of 8 equals x. Now, we're not going to solve that today. We're just learning how to rewrite them today. So I've got this copied in your notes, but this is going to be really important. This is how we switch back and forth between a log and an exponent. And if you can just remember that a log is an exponent, you can go a long way. Okay, and just a reminder, today we're not solving anything. We're just going back and forth between the two things so we can rewrite them so that we're ready to solve them using our calculators and other methods in class next time. Okay, so this first one is 5 to the third equals 125. So you're right, there's no variable. And like I said, we're not solving. We're just rewriting it in a different way. So we're going to say log, and then 5 is my base, so it goes down here, and then the 3 and the 125 switch. So log base 125 equals 3. And later, when we put that in our calculator, we can prove that's true. Okay, next one. So we're going to say log base 8 and then the 2 and the 64 switch of 64 equals 2. Okay, well now these next ones have variables in it, but it's still the same process. This one is going to be log base 6 of 1,296 equals x. So this right here is why we have the logs. We would not be able to solve the original equation of number 3, but using logs, we can solve this equation, and we'll do that next time. So this one would be log base 7, except I need to write an actual 7, of x, equals 3, because these two things switch. All right, let's try it again. These have two variables, but it's not going to change anything. This is log base 9 of y equals x, because these flip sides of the equal sign. Even if I have a negative number, it's not going to change it. Log base 5 of x equals negative 2. Now, if you're looking at number 6, I can't solve this written like this, but I can solve it written as an exponent, because this is really 1 over 5 squared, which is 1 over 25. So some of these equations can be solved as an exponent, and some of them, like number 3, would be better solved as a log. But having the ability to flip back and forth will give us the ability to put the equation in a form that helps us solve it. All right, now this time, we're going to, given the log, write the exponent. So remember, this number down here is the base. So we have 4, and then these get switched. So, there on the wrong spot. The 60 and the 2 get switched. So 4 squared equals 16, and that's true. So 2 is my base. So I have 2. These to the 5th, these switch. So 2 to the 5th equals 32. That's true. Okay. Now, this one, log base 5 is 625, with your calculator, we can definitely solve it. But let's put it back in the other form so we can see how it's written. So this is going to be 5, flip these to the x, equals 625. See, I can't solve for x this way, but I can in the log form. But that's not the point. The point today is just to be able to go back and forth. So this is going to be 8 to the x equals 512. All right, let's do 2 more. This has got 2 variables, but that's okay. We have 9 to the y equals x, because remember, these 2 flip. This one over here, we're going to take this one just a step further so you can kind of see where this is going to go later. So I have 9, remember these 2 switch, to the 1/2 equals x. Okay, well this is a form I can actually solve because we know 9 that to the 1/2 is really the square root. We did that in our last chapter. And then the square root of 9, when we're solving an equation, we get plus or minus 3. And there's our answer. So we're going to use these going back and forth between logs and exponents to solve equations coming at the next class. But here we are just trying to practice going back and forth.